I got a good one.
You got a good one?
For Are You a Normie?
Are You a Normie? Okay.
Yeah, like we can have the Are You a Normie segment.
We just talk about one. We just talk about one.
Yeah.
Right? It's like kind of caps the episode.
Yeah.
Just talk about one. Oh my God.
But that's something where we have to like look at the camera and be like, hey, we're going to be starting a section on each podcast called the Are You a Normie section, where you guys get to drop in the comments below your ideas. Are you a normie if, and then give us your idea. So then we can sit here and debate it.
I'll start us off.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to offend people.
Yeah, but a little bit of violence goes a long way.
It's okay.
I apologize on behalf of Zulu 24 and all staff.
The views and opinions expressed here.
I'm blinking. I'm doing this against my will. But, dude, okay.
Well, we don't have to do that.
No, let's do it. I want to hear it.
No. So who's the pilot who got shot down in the Gulf War? And he was like reading the thing like, I am being taken care of. But he was blinking freaking Morse code. Yeah. That takes two brains to do. I just want to point that out. That's amazing. But so here it is.
You're not talking about the Black Hawk Down one, are you?
Unknown. Shields. Riot shields. Are you a normie if you are using a shield?
I think you're a normie if you even ask if it's a good idea.
First, let's define.
Case closed.
Let's define what a normie is.
I will pull up the Urban Dictionary. Hold on. I will pull up Urban Dictionary.
Let's define a normie. Because I have my idea of what a normie is.
Case closed.
Normie. Okay, Urban Dictionary. A person gravitating to social standards, accepting practices and fads of their own time and a geographic group without border cultural perspectives from which they draw. Normies possess a lack of interest in ideas, not easily accessible, or being outside of their society's current range of acceptance. A straight follower. That's what a normie is.
So I don't think that applies in the airsoft.
The second definition on Urban Dictionary, a normie is a person who holds the popular opinion not because they have any reason behind it, but just for the sake of being
Here we
the
go.
majority.
Here we go. ChatGPT gave me a airsoft specific definition for normie.
Yeah.
This is going to be what it is. An airsoft normie is someone who is casually interested in airsoft but lacks in-depth knowledge or experience with the sport, gear, or technical aspects. They typically play occasionally, may not be familiar with advanced tuning, tactics, or equipment, and often stick to off-the-shelf replicas without modifications. Unlike dedicated enthusiasts or techs, normies are more focused on casual fun rather than performance, realism, or competitive play.
It's closer. I feel like we all know what it is.
Yeah. Like we
can't articulate it.
We use the term normie NATO to describe people playing NATO at MSW for the first time.
Sure, I think overall lack of experience.
The basic I got it surplus off eBay, multicam blouse.
It's a cross draw.
Like it's hard to put an exact definition on. Like it's the kid that you look at and you're like, all right, you haven't been doing this long enough to know better.
Yes.
So are riot shields normie? Is that a normie thing, riot shields?
Yeah, and I'm talking about the full spectrum of riot shield.
I'm talking about the evike.com riot shield. That is truly a riot shield. That is for beating a college kid in the face. That is not for blocking bullets. So when you show up at the field because it was on sale for $35 and you're like, ref, can I use this? I look at you, I sigh, and I go, no.
You know, when I was getting into airsoft, MW2 was still...
Yes, and that is partially why it's so popular.
And in
MW2 made it bulletproof.
In MW2, the riot shield, it was like the EVIC riot shield, and it was bulletproof. You know, it wasn't a vamp shield or whatever.
No, like Milsim West, they do utilize it properly. If you want to use a ballistic shield, it has to be the Vant shield, which weighs a fuck ton.
Now, even at Milsim West, is the guy using the proper shield, is he a normie?
No, because they had to spend a lot of money and they actually have to utilize it properly.
Yeah.
So at Milsim West, if I remember correctly, they are not allowed to advance forward while under fire, and they are not allowed to shoot from it while moving. So like the operator could have a Glock. He can't shoot while he's moving the shield. Also, to be fair, it's so heavy, he probably couldn't if he wanted to.
Yeah.
And when that person is hit, they have to put the shield down. So even then, I don't know if there's a respawn timer on it. Like they can only respawn with the shield once every hour. I remember hearing something like that. I don't think that's the case. But a direct tag to the shield will kill the operator. And then a grenade, obviously, behind the shield will kill everyone behind it. So, like, they utilize it well because it also has to be the legit heavy-ass Vant shield. in terms of a normal airsoft environment, the kids that come up with like the Evike Riot Shield, or I've seen this one too, they take a piece of sheet wood and put a handle on the back and then cut a hole out for their eyes and put plexiglass there. A for effort, B for no, because you're a normie. Like,
I think it's a normie thing because I only ever thought it could be a cool idea when I was 13 years old. And then I turned 14 years old.
like we have one, and it's for refs.
It's for the refs.
It's for refs. And honestly,
most
of us never use it. I think the only one I've seen use it is JoJo, and he uses it when he goes into the corner of the embassy and he just like sits behind it.
Yeah.
Like if you actually want to play airsoft with that, no, wrong. Absolutely not.
So I'll give you the standpoint from Zulu 24 Airsoft Park. It's mobile cover.
Yeah.
And mobile cover never plays well. It's always an argument because we did allow them back in the day. And it was almost like it was just as influential as going to semi-auto only.
Yeah.
Like it had that much of an impact, right? Like a guy with a shield has mobile cover. And then you're like, okay, like the first time you're just like, yeah, you can use the shield. And then the argument is we'll just shoot his legs, but then he crouches behind,
yeah, but then he gets shot in the toe. So he puts the shield on the ground so he doesn't get hit again. And
Yeah,
he's just like,
exactly.
you hit me, bro. It ricocheted off the ground. Yeah.
And
And also them having the shield and then sticking a hand out,
Yep.
and they're just like closing in on you.
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, it's a gun hit. It hit the gun. No, it hit your fucking knuckle. Like
There's definitely a certain mentality to somebody who wants to play with a shield, but
they are the main character.
well, something like that.
I like this as a normie segment.
But so from a field standpoint, it creates issues. And every time I get a phone call, which doesn't happen that much, but just so happens that
It's like one of
Saturday I
those-
got a phone call about a shield. It just so happened. I'm sorry. It always causes problems. Always. And we've tried specific rules like, if you get shot twice in the shield or whatever, then
Yeah, but
you
now
have
they
to
gotta
throw the
count it.
shield. Now you have to count, and then you lose count.
making it more-
And if you got shot once up at mosque, but now it's an hour later, you haven't died, but you got shot down here. Does that
that's
count as
total
two?
bullshit. You're never getting shot just once.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but either way, like, does it count or does it reset after a certain time? Like, it's just.
That's the same player that asks if they wear ballistic plates if they could take an extra BB to the chest.
I played one event
Oh, don't.
where that was a rule.
Don't try and tell me it was good.
No,
Okay, good.
it was absolutely terrible.
I was going to be like, that's a terrible idea.
no. You know what it caused? Overshooting like crazy.
Yeah.
Because everybody was just like, oh, well, I have to shoot him more than twice to kill
Like,
him.
the games like MSW where they say like, hey, if you're wearing ballistic plates, you get a second tourniquet.
Sure.
That makes sense. Like
It's an
it
abstract,
gives you a benefit for carrying the weight.
Sure.
Much in the same way that the semi-auto rule now makes it so if you are going to carry an LMG, you get the benefit of shooting full auto. Like there's a balance to it.
Sure.
The players that are like, well, I've got AR 500 steel, like 8.5 pound plates. And I'm like, wow, that sucks.
cool.
for
You broke
man.
your ribs as soon as
Yeah.
he shot you in the chest.
And they're like, can I take an extra BB to the chest? I'm like, no, you can't. That makes you a normie.
well, I don't know, but there's definitely a mentality behind somebody who wants to use a shield. It's a very defensive mentality, and it never works. It doesn't play well. It's almost like an airsoft S vest. There's no way to make one that's like good.
It speaks to the lack of
You
experience.
don't want to strap 7 Thunderbeast to yourself
Yeah, right. Like
and have to pull all the pins?
It speaks to the lack
one
of
second.
experience. Yeah.
One second. So there was a guy who made an S vest, but he used the party poppers.
Oh, that's funny.
So it was kind of humorous.
There's some merit there.
But it still played like Dookie because he just walked up and was like, ha, come on. It's like that. Like
I would have
airsoft
laughed if he
shields
at
just
least
don't-
put glitter in there so you got covered by like.
I had the streamers.
I know, but like it's like also you got hit by glitter, man. You're now covered in it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a
Again,
herpes of
it's
arts and
like
crafts.
I don't know. Shields cause problems. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it speaks to like the lack of experience with playing airsoft. Because like again, I remember being 13 and having like all these ideas of what playing airsoft would be like, fantasizing like it'd be so cool, be running around because you played Call of Duty and stuff. And then when you actually play, and you realize it's just like, oh, there's a guy behind that corner and I'm behind this corner. Meow meow meow. Meow meow meow.
I feel like the whole shield thing would be even more annoying at an indoor field.
Oh yeah.
Like it's annoying in an outdoor setting, but like imagine in an indoor, that's going to cause way more fucking problems too.
Yeah, and the shields that we're talking about are the lightweight plexiglass. So there's no downside to it.
No.
You're not slow.
Nope.
Indoor or outdoor. You're not slow. You're not carrying something that's like, you're like, oh man, I got to take a
I guess
break.
maybe the only downside to it is that it's pretty small. so it doesn't really cover all your body unless you're like.
But then
a
think about this: the e-bike ones are see-through.
Yep.
So you can just put that up on a window because the windows are small enough. Now you can freely look out the window, and they're shooting your shield. You know, like I don't know, everything about it.
Are you a normie if you use a shield? Yes.
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 The vote is concluded.